Hi Aquarius. I'm going to be doing a self-love tarot spread. These are general readings, so they might not resonate with you, but I want to do them weekly, so if you come back next week, you might find something that's more on message. These are self-love readings, so they really are aimed at the person who's watching to find areas where, or to highlight areas where we might be in need of more self-acceptance or more self-love. They are probably not conducive to cross-watching. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to do a 6-card spread, and then my 7th card will be the message from Spirit. I shuffled a little bit off camera, so I'll probably only do this like once or twice. This is the the Sun and Moon Tarot deck. If you haven't seen it, they are beautiful cards. Don't worry, because I will show you as we go. And then to clarify, I will use the Shamanic Healing Oracle cards. They are also gorgeous. I will show you those as we go too. In this first card, this is going to be how you feel about yourself currently. And this second card is going to be needs that you might not be prioritizing enough. And this third card is going to be areas where you might know subconsciously or even consciously where you're not getting yourself your best. This is an area to work on for you. The fourth card is going to be something that you should let out to showcase your authentic self, right? Because we all have so many aspects of ourselves, and when we embrace those aspects, that really is showing ourselves more self-love, self-acceptance, right? So by embracing these things, you're allowing yourself to be more authentically you. This 5th card is going to be something you need to let go of, pretty standard. And this 6th card is going to be something you need to acknowledge, right? Maybe something's going on right now. Maybe it's in the back burner of your mind, maybe subconsciously, maybe you don't even know about it yet. But this is going to be something that's coming up for you, you need to acknowledge. And in this 7th final card, that's going to be our spirit message. So for the number 1 position, how we feel about ourselves right now is this 6 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles. This is literally just money falling from the sky, and it says success. That's amazing, Aquarius. But she came out in the reverse, and I don't generally read reverses, but when it happens, I like to just see where it goes, right? Because right now this could mean that you are feeling abundant and successful, but probably and most likely because you're watching a self-love reading to help you find more self-love or more love for yourself, you are in this period where you don't feel successful. So we'll see how that plays out. Something you need to prioritize. Oh wow. The reading before, I was just talking about this card. I really love her. She's the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. The Queen of Pentacles is mature energy. This is somebody who has gone within, has looked at the aspects of herself, and has integrated them all. So much so that she is fully reflected in the moonlight. Her shadow self has become less of a shadow and more of a reflection, if that makes sense. She's gone within and she's come up with all the answers that she needs. It's that Queen of Cups. So maybe right now, Aquarius, something that you need to acknowledge or something that you need to focus on is this integration of self, right? Because, I mean, not to give it away, but almost every single one of these readings is going to be about that, some kind of integration, allowing ourselves to be the most authentic form of ourselves that we can be by accepting all the aspects of ourselves and then letting them out. Scary. In this 3rd spot, this is somewhere where you might be knowing that you're not giving yourself 100%. This also came out in the reverse. I would prefer it in the reverse, but we're going to have to see how it goes because this is saying right here, the 10 of Swords. And the 10 of Swords to me in the traditional tarot deck would indicate ego death. So I never think it's a bad thing. I'm always like, that's great. But here it says ruin. So maybe something that you're not prioritizing right now, or something that you might not feel like you're acknowledging completely. or allowing yourself to feel 100%. And right now, you could be in this mindset where you're feeling like you are lacking success. That's a common feeling to have, right? Because we're always comparing ourselves to other people or even ourselves where we thought we would be. And right now I'm seeing this lack of physical success because we saw the coins in that picture. But what it's saying here to me, or what it's indicating, is that maybe you do feel right now like a failure, and I don't want you to feel that way. But what I do want is for you to feel that. Because let's say you're working, right? And you're chasing that money, that coin, that hustle, right? And you feel like you're not succeeding. And so you're pushing yourself harder and pushing yourself harder. But you're not acknowledging those feelings of feeling like a failure. Because what happens is when we have a feeling inside that we don't acknowledge, those feelings can grow and they can spread and they can affect us even worse, right? It's just like a sickness, I guess. Anxiety, for one, like if you ignore your anxiety, it will make you sick. Like my stomach will get like super, super tight, and then it pulls on my esophagus, and all of a sudden I feel like I have to vomit. So these things can manifest in different ways. And what I'm saying is, if right now you don't feel like a success, acknowledge that you feel like a failure. Because acknowledging that feeling, saying it out loud, will help you deal with it. And what I mean by deal with it is, if you feel like you're not making enough money and then you tell yourself, I'm not making enough money and I feel like a failure, you have two options here. You can say, yep, no, I'm a failure. Oh well, screw it, whatever, I'm gonna give up, I'm not gonna try. Or, most likely, you'll say, I'm not a failure, I'm not. I have all the things that I need. I have a job, or I'm able to take care of myself as a grown adult. I can take care of the people around me. And also, too, I just want to point out, like, the card does say monetary success, right? There were the coins dropping from the sky. But there are many ways to have stability, right? So while the pentacles indicate earth and stability, there are a lot of different ways to have stability. You might not have a job, but maybe you have 1 trillion friends. Like, really, for real, some people do have a lot of friends. Or maybe you don't have any friends and you don't have a job, but you have 1,001 books, okay? There are a lot of ways to have stability. If you feel like a failure, acknowledge that. And then take it to one of those friends and be like, I'm a failure. And watch how quickly they go, you're not a failure, you're amazing. No one tells the best jokes like you do. No one knows how to do their hair how you do. You dress the best, or whatever, right? Because sometimes we just need to pick me up. And sometimes, a lot of the time, especially when we're dealing with self-love, we should be talking to ourselves the way that our friends would talk to ourselves. So if we tell ourselves, I feel like a failure, as your own friend, you should be like, you're not a failure, Aquarius. Especially right now, we have this pandemic going on. I don't know if anybody's told you, but like, a lot of people have died. A lot of people have died. They've gotten very sick. People are like losing their jobs because of this. And if this is the reason you feel like a failure, well, you need to take a step back and realize that we have very little control over the world. We really only have control over our reactions to things. So if you feel like a failure, acknowledge those feelings and then set them aside. Feelings are just feelings. They are not who we are, and they are not where we live. We don't have to live in them. So today I feel like a failure. Tomorrow I will try harder. Or tomorrow I will come up with another idea. Or tomorrow I will deal with those feelings. Okay? I know that was a very long time, but I just don't want you to feel like a failure, Aquarius. I don't want anybody to feel like that. Something you need, one of the ways that you can show yourself more authenticity, Okay, so I'm also going to leave this one in the reverse. You have a lot of reversals today, and I don't really read for those, but I feel like in the reverse it makes a lot more sense. So we're saying right now that you feel this lack of success, and then you might be feeling like a failure, or you feel ruined somehow, okay? And what came out for you and something that you need to acknowledge is the Emperor. And the Emperor is a man who is definitely in control. He has the world there. He's in charge, or like he's connected to the animals. This is his shield. Like he can protect himself from whatever is coming. And he has his throne. He's in charge. But what it came out as, it was in the reverse. And so maybe one of the ways that you can show yourself some more authenticity, Aquarius, is to accept the fact that you are not always in control. I used to think that I wanted like a really fancy, high-level government job because like when my hair is up, I am very fancy or whatever. I always thought that that was great, like something fast-paced, something where I can be assertive, something where, you know, I can call the shots and make decisions. But when I got into those positions, what I found was that I actually had no control. You cannot get people to work with you. You can't. I mean, if the person is not someone who is already in a place where they are ready to work with other people, there's not really much you can do about that. And unfortunately, change is really hard to create. It is. So right now, what I'm getting from this spread is that Spirit really wants you to acknowledge the fact that you don't have that much control and you should be kinder to yourself, genuinely. Something you need to let go of is the Six of Clubs. Oh, but it also came out in the reverse. So the Six of Cups in this deck looks like this. Look at them splashing, playing, having a good time. And it says pleasure. Something you have to let go of. But it came out in the reverse. And so I feel if I'm going to keep all these other ones in the reverse, we might as well keep this one in the reverse. Because what this indicates to me, Aquarius, is that you feel like you aren't allowed to have fun. Like that's what I'm feeling from this, is like I'm not successful. I feel like a failure. Spirit is saying, okay, well, let go of your need to control. And you're saying, I don't deserve to have a good time. I don't deserve to feel pleasure. I know people like that. That's not true. It's not. We all deserve to feel the way that we feel as we're feeling it. So maybe you feel like you're not making enough money financially, and because of that you can't go out and have fun. Well, let me tell you something. I went through college. I had to put myself through college. There are a million free things that you can do to have fun. Seriously, these kids look like they're just playing in the fountain, in a spring, in a puddle, right? Like you could go out and splash with your friends. You could read a book. You could go for a bike ride. You could sit in the park. You could make a flower chain. I've done that like a trillion times. You know what's really not exactly fun, but has like a reward and is free? Looking for 4-leaf clovers. You could do that anywhere, okay? So right now you need to drop this idea that you are not entitled to pleasure or to feel good because you don't feel like a success. There are many ways to measure success, okay? And you deserve to feel good and have pleasure in your life. Oh, and something you need to acknowledge. Yes! Good job, Aquarius. Something is coming, okay? This was just a little bummerish, right? My dog. Spirit says something you need to acknowledge is the Two of Pentacles. It doesn't say balance. It says change. Change is coming. I really hope it's a change in your circumstances, but I'd be just as satisfied if it was a change in your perspective, Aquarius. Because look, there's that duality, right? The yin-yang, the light and the dark, the light in the dark. So even in times when we feel like we're failing, we might not actually be failing. We might just be succeeding in some other aspect that we didn't really know about, right? Because I had a friend the other day, he was driving to work, and he spilled a little bit of coffee in his lap. And he was like, oh, God, you're such a dummy. And I was like, hello, be nicer to yourself. Like, why are you talking to yourself like that? You wouldn't say that to me. And he was like, yeah, well, I don't think that you're a dummy. But I don't feel like you're a dummy either. And then so we changed the conversation around. I was like, we gotta look at that silver lining. And he's like, well, I guess I do like the smell of coffee. My pants will just smell like coffee all day. And then we moved on from that, and we were talking about how like masks need like air filters because sometimes I just don't want to smell my own mask. But like I thought that one of the air filters could be coffee flavored, right? Because I don't like smelling like, so it's just the mindset. It's just, okay, this bad thing happened. It's not the end of the world. It was a little bit of coffee. How can we change that? How can we take that and turn it into something better? Also be nice to yourself. Damn. You call yourself a dummy. Hello. Okay. So I personally think that this spread is saying that it's your perspective, and that's gonna change, okay? Because Spirit's message here, this is perfect. This is like absolutely perfect, and I knew like a good semblance was coming because Spirit says you need to have strength, okay? This is you believing in yourself, in your ability, in your own efficacy, right? So we see with this girl here, she has a snake climbing up her leg, and she's holding on to thistles, and she is sitting on the back of a wolf. In the traditional tarot deck, it's a girl stroking a lion, right? And the idea is that she did not tame the lion because the lion has no harness or no muzzle or anything like that. She doesn't have a whip. She's not like the guy in the circus, right? She has made friends with the lion, and the lion chooses to be with her. But for me, what I see here is a girl who could have possibly been abandoned in the wild. And instead of being sad or fearful, she has mastered her environment. She is riding that wolf. She has embraced the snake. She's holding on to thistle. You know what thistle has, right? Thorns, like those little little ones, the tiny little ones, and they get in your fingers, right? This is someone who has embraced her natural environment and has come out successful. Just like you're going to be such a success. You are successful, Aquarius, okay? So let's go through and we will clarify. These are the Shamanic Healing Oracle. It's by Michelle A. Motuzas, and they are gorgeous. I can't wait to show them to you. Okay, so right now we said that you feel maybe like you're lacking success. Crazy. So maybe it feels like you're lacking financial success because we did see the coins falling from the sky. But what it says here is this is abundance. Look, this is like the exact opposite, okay? So right now you feel like you're not successful, but the universe is telling you there are more than one way to be abundant. And you have this. You have some abundance in your life, but you're just not noticing it. Which I feel is like this Queen of Cups, right? Because we said that she's fully integrated. So if you could acknowledge this, that might be something that will help you too feel more fully integrated. I knew it. I knew you were abundant, Aquarius. It's just about how you look at things. Letting go. You gotta let go of this mindset. Okay? Because here again, we see this duality. And let's say, just for instance, Aquarius, that right now, maybe you are a failure, okay? Maybe because of the pandemic, you lost your job and your apartment, and now you have to live at your sister's house with her and all of her children. And you don't have your own bed because you sleep on a pull-out couch. I did everything I was supposed to. I went to college, I got my degrees, got my job. It was an amazing job. And the pandemic hit, and I was the last person they had hired, so I was the first person who had to go. Maybe you don't feel like a success right now. Maybe you are not a success right now. But that does not mean that you, yourself, are not successful. It just means that life has periods, this duality, the good with the bad. Sometimes things are going to be great, sometimes things are not going to be great. While I don't have a job, and that's super true, and I haven't for like a stupid long time, like longer than I ever had, not in my entire life. I taught myself to paint. I have taught myself macrame. I have taught myself crocheting. I have done so many new projects and things that I would never have even gotten the opportunity to try if I had constantly been working. So in that way, I was successful. In that way, I have abundance. It could be the same thing for you right now, Aquarius. Maybe right now we aren't successful, but we will be, you know, and we shouldn't worry about it because Spirit says there's change coming and strength. Maybe this is a period where we learn strength. Okay, this Queen of Cups. Unlimited possibilities, okay? There's so many things that we have the opportunity to do that do not revolve around money, right? I mean, we need money for things, yes, but that is not the only measure of our success. Healing energy. Integrating these parts of yourselves, understanding that you are not a failure, helping yourself to heal. Because that's a misunderstanding. It's a miscommunication in your brain about who you are. Only you can decide that, but I don't think you want to decide that you're a failure. Why would you be watching this video? Okay, so this Ten of Swords says, this is an area where you realize you're kind of letting yourself down. We said that you might feel like a failure, but you're not acknowledging that. And so you're just pushing and pushing and pushing. And what we get from that is a lot of this energy. It says sexual energy, but because I don't see that anywhere else here, what I'm really feeling is like misdirected energy. Not that sexual energy is misdirected, but just that the stallion doesn't think very clearly. When he wants something, he's just going to go after it, but he's not going to like maybe notice the barbed wire in his way. I don't know if you're from the Midwest, you get that reference, but the point is that this is probably like misguided energy. So put that back into yourself. Put it into yourself. You know, figure out what you really want to do. Yeah, no, seriously. Okay, so this is the truth. If you're feeling in one area like you are not a success, is that the only area that you're even remotely interested in? Let's say you got a banking job, but you're like me and you're not even good at math. I don't know why they gave you a banking job. But you get a banking job and you realize, well, I don't really like it. I don't really feel like I'm doing very good. I'm not really successful. Meh. Do you even want a banking job? Like, one of the reasons I'm still unemployed is because I refuse to take something I don't want. I did all my work. I went to college. I got my degrees. I am not working in Sonic. No offense, Sonic. I love your iced coffees, but I'm not working there. I want a job I want. So sit down with yourself and figure out your truth. Is this thing that you're struggling with, is this like success that you don't feel even relevant? Do you even care? Look at where that energy is going. Find your truth. Find what it is you want to do. And then try that. And if you're not successful at that, I don't want to say like welcome to the world, because sometimes we're not successful at things, and that's okay. But when we spend a lot of time doing something we don't want to do and we only get so far with it, there's a reason for that. It's because it's not meant for us. Because when we turn around and we put that energy into something that is meant for us and something we do like, we're going to get so much farther, so much faster. I promise. Okay, so we said that... I don't know what that was. So we said that one of the ways that Spirit is encouraging you to be more authentic with yourself is to release the sense of control. The sense that you have to be in control of maybe your finances or your world or whatever it is. In control of your home. Maybe this is one of where the issue is stemming from. Maybe there's an issue of control in your home or an issue of abundance. Because if you have a family to support, I'm sure that it's very hard to feel like you're not doing enough. Sorry, it's the cat. I'm sure that it's really hard to feel like you're not doing enough. I'm not a parent. I can't imagine how hard that is, because I find it daily hard enough to take care of myself. I can't imagine what taking care of children or an entire home would be like. But even in your home, you can't do everything. You can't be in control all the time. Like I said, I live with my sister and she has 3 children. When I first moved in, she was trying to do everything herself. Everything. And then I moved in, and now there's a chore chart, and everybody does something at least every day, once a day, to help contribute. Because, not just because to tell kids what to do, but because she shouldn't have to work 8 hours a day and then come home and do all the chores on top of that. We are a home, not a house, okay? And we can't do everything ourselves. We can't. Besides, children need structure and rules. Good for them. Chores are good for them. Slow and steady. Okay, Aquarius. I feel like this is transformation coming to you, but I do feel like it's going to be slow and steady. I also feel like these are emotions that you're going to have to deal with. Remember we said that you were probably shutting some of them off? But these are the emotions you're going to have to go through. we said that because you're being so hard on yourself, you might be denying yourself pleasure in life, right? This card said you had to let go of this idea of pleasure in the reverse, that you don't deserve it or you can't have it. Spirit wants you to practice your discernment. Okay. So for me, when I do a good job, I always give myself an iced coffee. Woo, did such a good job. But if I'm not being successful, if I'm not making money, then I probably will not get the iced coffee. And I will probably just buy, for the same price of an iced coffee, hazelnut flavoring for my coffee at home. Okay? And that, in the same kind of sort of sense, I can still give myself that pleasure, that gratification of coffee and the flavor of hazelnut that I love so much. But I use my discernment about how the best way to get that was. Okay? We don't have to have this black or white mindset. We don't have to have this either or everything or. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. Aquarius, it says new beginnings, okay? But look, all those emotions that had to come through. And then we said that something you need to acknowledge is that change is coming, right? We have that Two of Pentacles. But it's going to require integration, right? Understanding that we can feel more than one thing at a time, and more than one thing can be true at a time. So yes, we might not be successful, and we might not feel like a success, and that could be true, but that we can be successful in other areas, and that doesn't make us a loser. Emotional release. Oh, Aquarius, I do feel like a lot of emotions are coming for you. Be careful with those, because the longer we tend to block something off, the more it builds up. I don't know if you ever played Call of Duties in the zombies game. Me and my niece were playing the other night. And, sorry, just a side note though, okay? So, like, we were downstairs, and then we wanted this gun. And to get the gun, you had to go upstairs. So we saved up all of our money. We're just shooting all these zombies, killing, get all this money. And then I run upstairs to get the gun. And it's the beginning of that level. So all the zombies are going to spawn down here. I have a point, I promise, okay? So all the zombies spawn down here, and then we run up through these doors. We open these new areas where zombies are not coming from. And then we get to the bottom of the stairs, I buy the shotgun, and I tell her, okay, so all of those zombies, all of those problems, all of those issues that we left downstairs are going to come for us. And if we are not careful, they're just going to hit us. They're just going to take us out. So what we need to do is we need to stand at the bottom of this staircase and slowly funnel those zombies through. We would have taken out like 80 zombies. Easily. I have a shotgun, of course. But my niece left. She did not stay and hold off the onslaught in the way that I thought that we would as a team. And so what happened was exactly what I'm saying. All 80 of those zombies came through those stairs at once, and I was just taken out. If you're pushing off emotions, Aquarius, I'm going to look into Aquarius and their emotions. I know you're like the most don't tell me what to do sign, but fair, right? Okay. So if you push all those emotions off, what's going to end up happening is they're just going to overtake you. It's going to be like 80 zombies and you by yourself trapped in a stairwell. I hope that analogy works for you, because it's really what I mean. You will just be overrun. Stop being so hard on yourself. Take things as they come. Don't run. Okay, and then Spirit said your message was strength. You're going to need strength for this, because it's going to be a slow and steady process. It's going to be hard. But the truth will win out. I promise. Stripping illusions. These illusions that you have about your success or failure, about who you are. Money doesn't decide that. Your weight doesn't decide that. The kind of car you have, the kind of house you have, it doesn't decide that. You are worthy of all of these things on your own because you're a human being, because you're on this planet to feel your feelings. Success is not measured in money. It's measured in how people talk about you. It really is. Like, so let's say, Aquarius, that you are a single parent and you are, really trying to build your home and you don't feel successful. Well, do your children see you that way, Aquarius? I mean, if you have a partner, maybe does your partner see you as a failure? I almost can guarantee you they don't. Almost completely can guarantee you that they don't. We are put on this earth to help other people. So really our success is measured in how we help. Self-love, Aquarius. All these emotions. The night and the day, the duality of that. It was a heavy read, but I feel optimistic, Aquarius. So what we started off with was this idea that you are not successful. And because of that, you don't really deserve to be happy. And maybe you're pushing those feelings away. But emotional release, let those feelings out so that you can tell those feelings that they're wrong. Okay? Let go of this need to be in control. Spirit has your back. I really hope this helped. Have a good day.